So Carmelo, he said, "Good morning, Mr. Charleston. This is Karmelo Anthony. I just want to thank you for everything you have done in such a short time. I really appreciate it. Good afternoon, Mr. Charleston. I hope you are doing well. I wanted to thank you for these videos and your support. Also, thank you for that talk yesterday. It really lifted my spirits in all this. I said, keep being strong and keep believing." He said, "Yes, sir, I will. Thank you." Came back and said, "I hope that you and your family are staying safe. I really appreciate these words." I tell him we are. I had a praying mother, so I have a strong belief in God. He says, "I understand that. I've been praying over you and your family, thanking God for blessing me with you coming into my life and being one of the mentors supporting me." This kid is in a horrible situation.
You know, I feel like fathers have this way of withholding information from their kids sometimes. You know, you might be too young, he might think you're immature, or maybe he just doesn't really want you to know about it. For example, long time ago, I was talking to my dad and we were talking about family, this, that, and the other. And he brought something up like, "Oh yeah, and my first wife, I remember blah, 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 blah." I looked at him like, "What? For your first wife? What, you were married before mom?" Blew my mind. And I feel like a lot of young men have that canon event with their father where they kind of realize like, oh, there's a lot more to this man that I did not know about. There's a lot more than him just beating my ass and getting angry about little things that I don't know about. Like there's a whole story behind that. And usually the stories are epic. You get older, your dad shares a beer with you, you talk about life. But in the case of Karmelo Anthony, it's not that happy, okay? It's not that happy. Apparently, Drew Anthony, the father of Karmelo Anthony, is currently running away from the law. That is right, ladies and gentlemen. This is not clickbait. This is not a gotcha moment. Apparently, Drew Anthony has active warrants, along with a crazy list of criminal history. Without further ado, I mean, birds of a feather flock together, it seems like. We had Dominique Alexander, and now it seems like we got Drew Anthony up here too. Let's go ahead and check this thing out, and I'm going to break this down for you ASAP. Remember when Drew Anthony told Sarah Fields to stop what you're doing, this is your final warning? He said something real particular there, which gave me suspicions that he had a record anyway. He said something along the lines of, "You don't know me, but okay, LOL." Something like that. I'll throw it up on the screen right here. Basically telling her like, you don't know who you're dealing with. And he's right. Sarah Fields, you do not know who you're dealing with, because this man apparently has a history. So let's start with the first record that was found. And shout out Jumpsuit Pablo, man. He's been doing crazy work over there. Make sure you guys go subscribe. He's the first one that put this on my radar, right? I was blown away. I was eating the popcorn, and now I got to talk about it. So anyways, the first record just has his information. Arrest information, Andrew Anthony. So it's not Drew, it's Andrew. Date 05/12/2016. Time 4:13 p.m. Age at arrest 29. Current age 38. Gender male. And then they show his birthday and everything else. Right below that, the charges are simple battery. Okay, now this is just one arrest, okay? We already know who we're dealing with. Simple battery. You like to fight, huh, Andrew? Apparently, folks, Andrew likes to fight. Now, I don't know who was simply battered, but the way he talks to Sarah Fields, one can only guess, like, was it a man? Was it a woman? Was it mutual combat? How did you end up in that situation? And, you know, Drew Anthony, brother, I'm open for an interview. If you want to break down your past, come up on AG Tactical and clarify the situation for us, I'm more than happy to do so. Now, this is where things start to get interesting, ladies and gentlemen. Because of that arrest record that was pulled, it showed all the rest of Drew Anthony's history. So now it's not just simple battery, it's everything else that comes along with his name, right? Now, if you go forward and we check this out, let's just go through it one by one and tell me if you see any recurring themes here, right? Reckless operation of a vehicle. I mean, we all recklessly operate a vehicle every once in a while, right? Theft. I don't like thieves. I actually hate thieves. Let's go down again. Theft. See, now I really don't like thieves. I really don't like them. Let's go down one more time. Theft. $500 to $1,500. Oh, that sounds like a felony. Oh, that sounds like a felony, Drew. And one thing I don't like is a motherfucker that steals, bro. I swear to God, if I end up in jail, If out of nowhere, AG Tactical's in jail now doing a crazy bid, you're going to know why I went there. It's because somebody stole some shit from me. You know what I'm saying? I feel like that's one of the most disrespectful things to do to a person. You mean to tell me I work my ass off, get my little PC, get my little computer, get my little shit, and you just steal that? Nah, bro, listen. Because now you're taking my life away. And you're like, AG, how's that taking your life away? Well, I'll break it down. I woke up at 6 a.m. I went to fucking work, slaved away for hours, came home, had a bad attitude. My girlfriend was irritated with me, went back to work for a whole month. And then I was able to buy my PC. You know what I'm saying? That's what I mean by someone's taking my life away from me. You literally, I slaved for that shit and you're just going to steal it? I don't know. My brain doesn't allow me to just let shit like that go. You know what I mean? So there's a bit of a record for Drew Anthony, right? Let's continue. No seatbelt, reckless driving of a vehicle, I'm assuming. Don't care. We have another one, speeding. Maximum limit, speeding 70 in a 45. I could understand you're speeding and you get like a 70 and a 65, or maybe like a 55 and you're doing 70. I could kind of see that. A 45, that's damn near residential, sir. That's like city level streets. So you're driving 70 miles an hour down Los Angeles, basically, is what's being said here. That's crazy. 70 and the 45 is pretty wild. So anyways, I thought it was all bad, right? I was like, all right, well, Drew Anthony is a thief. Very least, we know Drew Anthony is a thief, and that's probably where his son got it from. Because remember, this is where we enter rumor territory. So I will say this is rumor. But it was rumored that Karmelo Anthony was kind of going through kids' bags. That was one of the theories before this whole thing blew up. Now that's starting to sound a lot more believable. Even I was kind of against the theory. I was like, nah, he probably wasn't stealing. He probably just had smoke with the kids or you know, he had a hot head or something. I don't think he was stealing. Well, I'm not going to put that on Karmelo. But what I will say is the apple doesn't really fall very far from the tree, you know? Shit. That's why I feel like some fathers don't tell their kids everything, because they know they got some dirt in their past. But let's move forward. This is the thing that blew me. So I was like, this is bad. This is horrible or whatever. This is not good. You know, slimy guy. Then we get to the real shit. Now, I think YouTube Streets was doing the research to where they came across an active warrant. Now, this is scary. This is scary. I've never had an active warrant for my arrest before, and I don't know how I'd respond. But the way Drew Anthony responds, apparently, is by not giving a fuck. Let's check this out. This lookup is not confirmation of an active warrant. All city court warrants should be confirmed by the official court file. Please contact the city constable at the office, blah, 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 for confirmation. Now, keep in mind, I wanted to read that because these lookup websites to where you can find people's information, they always have to cover their asses and say that this is probable. Please check with the court to make sure, okay? They're doing that to cover their own ass. But the reason that I feel like this is still active is because of the location of the warrant, okay? Now, this was for reckless driving, I believe, and it says the term DIV below indicates the judicial division. The abbreviation DOA stands for date of arrest. Click the warrant type code to view the warrant type. And if you go down below, it's Andrew Anthony in Baton Rouge, Louisiana in 2018. Now that's convenient. Why is that convenient? Because right around that time, they had moved from Baton Rouge, Louisiana, over to Texas. Now, why would they move? I could come up with a few reasons. A crazy criminal record and active warrants. So my assumption to all of this is that that warrant was enough to scare Drew Anthony to another state because he had enough history that he probably would have got caught up with some type of jail time over this. He would have got caught up with some sort of jail time, and he did not want to face it. And I mean, at the end of the day, charges like this, Jumpsuit Pablo said it first. Man the fuck up, sir. What are you going to do? You're not going to be able to smoke weed for a month? You're not going to be able, you're going to have some shitty food for a little while? Like, man the fuck up for your son. I would be crazy for me if I'm ducking the law over some traffic violations in front of my son. That's some bitch ass shit, bro. I would prefer go to jail and tell my son, this is what I fucked up. This is what you do. You come into that situation. But you see, the example is what we're lacking. You know, Karmelo Anthony has his dad, but he also has a bad example as a father. You know? But anyways, let's move forward. We've been talking about Karmelo Anthony. Charleston White today had a few things to say about Karmelo Anthony. And apparently, him and Karmelo are conversing back and forth every single day with his runaway daddy. So let's go ahead and check that out.
He gonna be all right. So man, I used to partner and work with a criminal defense mitigation specialist. And by this criminal defense mitigation specialist coming in, she has the ability and the power to interview both sides. And what the adults are overlooking, and what I find so ironic, you can't find no children nowhere speaking about it. You know,
because they can't. I don't know why this is his biggest talking point. And Charleston, you better cash out on that money, because who knows, with the exposure, Drew Anthony might be going to jail soon. Who knows? I don't know. So try to cash out. But anyways, I don't know why he keeps going back to the kids. They can't say nothing. Nah, the kids. Yeah, see, the kids, they know what's going on. It's only adults. It's the kids, man. They're trying to hold the kids. No, you fucktard. What are you talking about? If there were phones recording a crime inside of the kids' hands, the police are going to go kid to kid to kid to kid and take every single fucking phone off of them. What are you talking about? That's not suppression. That's preservation of evidence, bro. And they can't talk to the public, more than likely, because they're going to be witnesses. Imagine every witness goes on the news before court starts. Every witness here on out, before trial starts, every witness gets to just air everything out on the news. That's not how it works. So why is that a talking point for you in the first place? Nah, it's not the kids that's racist. It's the parents that's racist. The kids know what's going on. Listen, we're going to hear a lot of kids talk when this trial comes to case, when it comes to court. So don't worry about that. He's trying to make it sound like they're coaching the kids to lie. That's not what's happening, bro.
Why they have been prohibited to speak, and they're silenced. Because if they speak, this kid case is dropped tomorrow. So we had to bring in some very important people. Highly respected in Collin County. Man, he needs some people that's from there, that know there. So man. So I had to. Not only that, I got him because he's on house arrest. I got one of the best boxing programs in Fort Worth, Texas. And Fort Worth is known as boxing. Shout out to Trent Road. So I went and got one of the best boxing programs that I pay weekly to go out there 2 times a week so he can train, self-defense training, get this out your head. And he's studying law. So I sent him books. I gave him the new. And
I find that kind of interesting. You're going to get him a boxing coach to train and get that all out of his mind. What's in his mind? What are you trying to get out of your mind? Are you trying to tell the kid that you should put your violence into boxing and not into stabbing people? That's a little too late, sir. The fact that he was like, yeah, get this all out of your mind. That's telling. That's telling on who this kid really is. Now, I'm not saying he's a hothead and he's a monster or whatever. I'm just saying what it's appearing to look like right now. Why does he need a training coach? Does he have anger issues? What do you mean by get this out your head? Get what out his head? Hatred? Anger? Hot-headedness? What's going on? If I killed somebody out of self-defense, why the fuck are you going to get me a personal trainer to get things out my mind? I'm clearly self-sufficient to kill a motherfucker who's trying to hurt me, right? So why would I need personal? It doesn't make sense, bro. Charleston White is a walking contradiction. If you really listen to what he's saying, he's kind of telling you that the kid's guilty. But let's back that up. Get this out your mind. I want to put that part back up. Now, wait, hold on. I know y'all enjoying the video. You guys having a good time, writing your comments, doing your laughs. But if you support this channel, ladies and gentlemen, make sure you hit the subscribe button, make sure you hit the like button, and make sure you follow all my other socials, including my second channel. I'm gonna put it all up on the screen right here, and it's all in the description. All right, if you want some extracurricular activities when AG Tactical's main channel isn't posting, Go and check out the second channel because you might just find some. But anyways, folks, let's get back into this video.
I went and got one of the best boxing programs that I pay weekly to go out there 2 times a week so he can train, self-defense training, get this out your head, and he's studying law. So I sent him books. I gave him the new Jim Crow by Michelle.
Now, he could be talking about just keeping the noise out of his head, but it just sounded weird the way he said that. But I want to move forward, right? Because apparently Karmelo is contacting him directly. Like Charleston White is his new daddy. Clearly Drew Anthony too busy out here stealing shit from Target, so he had to go talk to Charleston White. I'm joking. But let's see what Karmelo Anthony had to say.
So Karmelo, he said, "Good morning, Mr. Charleston. This is Karmelo Anthony. I just want to thank you for everything you have done in such a short time. I really appreciate it. Good afternoon, Mr. Charleston. I hope you are doing well. I wanted to thank you for these videos and your support. Also, thank you for that talk yesterday. It really lifted my spirits in all this." I said,
"Now that's a mistake, man. That's a mistake." So Karmelo Anthony is out here publicly, well, Charleston is publicly airing it out, but Karmelo Anthony is out here basically publicly telling Charleston White that it warmed his heart that he dropped those vile, disgusting videos on the internet. If you guys don't remember Sarah Fields, the meth whore, and Austin Metcalf, the fentanyl addict, and Hunter Metcalf, the bully. You all the C words and the P words, the woods and all that. He's saying all this crazy shit, and Karmelo's heart is just warmed by this, right? I really appreciate all you've done for me and the videos you posted. Now, either one thing, Charleston's lying about that, or Karmelo actually told him that. This is going to make shit way worse for him. You know how those prisoners in jail feel about that? I'm telling you, bro. I'm telling you. Go to Jumpsuit Pablo. He be talking about it. If this kid lands in prison, which is really looking like it, all this noise is going to bite him in the ass so hard when he gets to jail, bro. It's going to be horrible for him.
"Keep being strong and keep believing." He said, "Yes, sir, I will. Thank you." Came back and said, "I hope that you and your family are staying safe. I really appreciate these words." I tell him we are. "I had a praying mother, so I have a strong belief in God." He says, "I understand that. I've been praying over you and your family, thanking God for blessing me with you coming into my life and being one of the mentors supporting me." This kid is in a horrible situation, thanking and having concern for other people. I don't know too many people like that, not children at least. Very mountable kid. "Good afternoon, Mr. Charleston. I've been reading the new Jim Crow, and it is really a good read. I thank you for recommending it. After all this, I've been planning on becoming a criminal lawyer since my freshman year of high school. So,
well, listen, you got that shit firsthand. You got the you got a little on the field knowledge with that criminal court attorney path in life, huh? You got to feel how it felt, huh? That shit's crazy, bro. That shit's crazy. You know what that reminds me of is Brian Koberger. I'm not saying he's a psycho like Brian Koberger, but it's funny that Brian was doing like forensic psychology and he turns out to kill somebody, right? Now we have Karmelo Anthony out here saying like, "Oh yeah, I want to be a lawyer." Kid, listen, all you're going to be is a jailhouse lawyer the way the shit's looking right now. The way you got this clown running around town, your dad's information is spilling. You might want to pick up that career choice while you're behind bars. Shit. You want to be a lawyer. You want to be a lawyer, but you're out here stabbing people.
It really helps my understanding on the law and even whole situation right now. I wanted to give him some clarity and understanding by reading. He said, "I'm sorry, Mr. Charleston. I forgot to tell you about my contact with the Metcalf family, with there being no direct or indirect contact." So I took down those posts, take it off social media. "Good afternoon, Mr. Charleston. I'm going to show my dad what this is." We made the connection. Homie, if you can hear the relief with this father, huh? Man, it's a good family.
Man, it's a good family. It's a good family. It's a good Yeah, they're buying your weed fund, okay? Man, they purchased this guy's services so obviously it's crazy. But you guys let me know what you think, man. We are going to cover this on live stream tomorrow because it's a long video, and he talks a lot of things about Collin County and Karmelo Anthony. We're going to go live around 11 a.m. PST, so keep your eyes open about that. But it's just a shame, bro. It's a shame. You have people selling out their whole brand just for a little bit of money. And I never thought Charleston White was that big of a deal anyway, but it's like, to throw your whole situation away for this is crazy to me. How much did you make? But anyways, you guys let me know what you think in the comments. I love you guys. I appreciate y'all for coming in. All the new subscribers, shout you guys out. Road to 100,000 subscribers, man. It's a beautiful thing. I'll see you guys real soon. Peace.